Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Mooloolaba Music, and today we are running through this glorious, the Ibanez, the GB SP10. This is the George Benson Special Edition, one of two in Australia, so we're very lucky to have this guy at our shop and paying homage. It's the 45th anniversary to George Benson's Special Edition guitar, and this guitar does it all and more. And we just love it. I love this guitar. So without further ado, let's jump in. Let's dive in. What about this guitar really stands out? Well, the GB Special has been around since 1977, so it's had a fair whack of time in the industry. And now they've brought out this resurgence, the Special Edition again, just to continue to pay homage to it. So a beautiful flame maple top here, which I love, and also a lovely flame maple back and flame maple sides. So I love that with the flame maple, obviously it really captures the color beautifully, and they allow that pattern to really seep through. So every piece of maple is a little bit different and has a different pattern, and I love the way that the flame effect is shown through this. So beautiful guitar here. On the neck, you got a 3-piece maple neck, which is really nice, and then you have an ebony fingerboard and an ebony bridge, which I love too. Ebony, known for its rigidity, its tone transference, a nice dark and strong amount of tone that comes from these things. So I definitely love ebony, and not something you always see on the fretboard. You see a lot of rosewood, a lot of maple, but I think the ebony really does this one justice. You've also got the GB Special pickups here. So you've got the GB Special neck mini humbucker and the GB Special bridge humbucker. So beautiful pickups here. A very simple electronics sort of dial in here. You've got a master volume for the neck, a master volume for the bridge, and then you've got the 2 tone controls here. So you can, like you would in jazz, you can typically darken some of the brighter sounds here that you might not want, so you can plot in and then you can bring yourself out a bit when you really want to jump out of the mix. Lovely Godot machine heads here. So I love Godot, lifelong warranty, beautiful. I've never really had any problems with Godot machine heads as a guitar tech. They truly are, they stand the test of time. They always operate the way they're supposed to. I love the rundown here, these beautiful abalone inlays. They're obviously gorgeous in their own right, but they pay homage to George Benson, and they also continue that trend down here, over here on the tailpiece. The other thing that really jumps out about this guitar is the nut. It's not just a typical nut. This is it's a composite, basically, mixed between a bone nut, and then you've also got a brass nut here. So some people would think, oh, that's a 0 fret, but it's not actually a 0 fret. It's actually a composite between both. You've got the bone nut sitting at the back here, and you've got the brass nut sitting just a little bit forward. So that's going to give you a nice blend. Brass or metal is going to give you a bit more of the ping, a little more of the high, and a good level. You know, you can really dial it in with metal. Obviously, bone, over the years, it wears down, and then you might need a new nut. But with that reinforcement of brass, you probably aren't ever going to need to replace that nut. It's going to stick around for the test of time. So a great guitar, a 3-way pickup switch here between your neck, your bridge, and then you can have them both on at the same time. So really, it's really what jumps out about this guitar is the beauty of the timbre, but also the fretwork. Beautiful frets on this. You've got 22 frets. They're medium size, but they're rolled beautifully. Like a lot of guitars that come out of the shop, they kind of have a couple of sharp edges, or sometimes you might see some deviation in the neck, but this guitar feels so pleasant to the touch around here, which means that if you are a jazz player or R&B or soul or any genre, you can really skip around here without getting cut up too much, which I really like. So beautiful guitar, not much left to talk about really, other than just to give it another little play. We're going to jump through the neck, we're going to go to both on, and then we'll do a little bit on the bridge and just hear the different tonality of these lovely GB specials, you know, because they've also been around for such a long time, and really they're awesome the way they look like they're floating. They're kind of floating here in the body. So not like typical pickups where they kind of sit in the body. These ones kind of sit just above. So beautiful guitar. The setup straight out of the box is gorgeous. So let's have a quick little play and just see how it sounds. I'll play just some light, and I'll just roll off some of the tone just so we can get that typical jazzy sort of thing going on. Beautiful resonance from those pickups. Really nice sound coming from that neck pickup there. Everything you would expect and want. And obviously having a humbucker there, which you would have in a lot of jazz guitars, is great. But these mini humbuckers, you know, not much real estate taken up by these. Quite trendy looking, but still that nice full humbucking sound that you would expect. But with the George Benson twist, you know, flicking down to the bridge pickup here. Let's have a quick listen to this guy. Not going to darken him at all. Just going to actually... Not going to darken him at all. Going to leave him up. Let's have a quick listen. Darkening him up. Beautiful sounding bridge pickup too. You know, obviously you can darken, you get such a nice spectrum with these tone pots here to really darken it up. And I think in jazz music, you do see that a lot. People really roll back the tone, really sit back in the mix for the majority of the playing. And then when it comes time to take a solo or a head, you know, they play the head where that's kind of like your chorus in jazz music, then they'll play a solo, and when they play a solo, they typically just dial it forward a little more, allowing the notes to really ring through the mix. Finally, I'm going to play them both at the same time. Not too much different to expect here, but the fact that you have the ability to roll off each tone separately means you can really dial in. Say, I really think I love this sound of both pickups together, but I really wish that this bridge pickup was a little less bright. Well, I'll show you how you can do that. So let's have a quick listen. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the GBSP10, one of two in Australia, a beautiful creation from Ibanez, devoted to our love for George Benson and all things jazz. You can come into Mooloolaba Music and check out this gorgeous Flame Maple edition. It's here in the shop. I don't expect it to last long, but it's worth a play. Beautiful flat wound strings, and the action set up great. Run your hand up and down the neck like I do. You won't get any dings or prings. So this is a beautiful guitar here at Mooloolaba Music on the Sunshine Coast. My name's Chris, and I'll see you guys next time.